Mining Indaba's investment battlefield is one of the event's greatest draw cards, and this year's exploration winner is John de Vries. John, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having us on, and thank you for Indaba for the battlefield.
Having gone through the entire process and the experience, what do you think makes a winning company or winning project?
The answer for that, in short, is a lot of hard work. But where we stand out with the Mahengi project is we describe it as a world-class project. So there's a number of features in world-class, and I think the first one is it must be competitive. So to be world-class, big is attractive. Our project at 200 million tonne resource is ranked number 4 globally, at about a 70 million tonne reserve is number 2 globally. That's important because if you're going to attract capital from the big end of town doesn't want boutique. Big end of town wants scales of economics, and large only does that. The other feature that bolts in for us is that we're at the bottom of the cost curve. And we're at the bottom of the cost curve because in Tanzania we're able to connect into the local grid, and Tanzania is in the process now of commissioning a 2 gigawatt hydro dam. So we're going to be running a large, high-grade, high-value graphite project off a hydroelectric scheme that pivots it straight to the bottom of the cost curve. And the final part about that is you need to wrap it up into sustainability, because at the end of the day, when you're putting your product out there, we're out in the global energy transition, we need to make sure that the product we put out there meets the sustainability goals of our customers. And we're able to do that through our grid connection and through the work we've done on the ground with our community.
In terms of the next step, what will you and the rest of the team be working on for the remainder of the year?
Well, we're in a very fortunate point where we are very much at the end of our financing process. So we now have a $60 million pledge from Development Bank of Southern Africa. We have a couple of other banks in the process. I can't name them at the moment. I hope to be able to name them within a couple of weeks. And clearly the target for us in the next month or so is to be able to have all the debt financing in place. And then from there we pivot into raising the equity and moving into construction. The important part about our project is that we've got customer validation. So in terms of our customer validation, we've got POSCO from Korea, and POSCO is the largest anode producer outside of China. So for POSCO to step in, not only be our largest shareholder, but to step in there with an MOU for $40 million of equity, talks a lot about the quality of the project, the quality of the work that's gone, and our ability to move forward, raise that money and get into production.
Given the conversations that we've had around the energy transition, and those conversations are becoming louder and louder each time, where does it fit with the work that you do?
Well, the global energy transition it's a really interesting space as we transition from internal combustion engines over to electrification of transport. The lithium-ion batteries become the default weapon of choice for EV manufacturers. The reality is that while there's been an awful lot of attention around cathode chemistry and indeed lithium, the anode has pretty much been unnoticed. Reality is 7 to 10 times more volume of graphite in a lithium-ion battery than there is lithium. So the real constraint here is graphite availability, and where we have focus here is the mid space. 100% of the midstream capacity at the moment sits within China. And that creates supply chain risk, and given the geopolitical tensions, there's a lot of desirability to create an alternative supply chain, and that's really what we're doing with Korea. And POSCO's in a unique position to be able to do this, because in this space you need access to steel mills to monetize the waste stream. You need access to low-cost hydrofluoric acid, which again is present in an advanced industrial economy such as Korea. So what we're able to do with POSCO is we mine, they make it into battery raw materials. Again, there's battery manufacturers in Korea, and then those batteries go into cars towards the global energy transition.
John, thank you so much for your time. For more insights, go to MITV on miningindaba.com.